G'day, it's Rob here again. Well, anybody that's watched my videos knows that I've got this old beaten up tray top truck that I use to haul around stuff. It's a handy beast. I've also got a little car as well that is also old, just for scooting around town, but this ute was my farm vehicle, is my farm vehicle. And it's a handy thing. It's one of those vehicles that even though it's not worth much, it's worth its weight in gold, just because what it can do. It can carry all sorts of stuff. And when you're driving around town, you often see stuff on the side of the road. You know, I often pick up old fridges, and you can just take them down, toss them on the back, and take them to the scrap man, and get yourself a bit of beer money when the price of scrap steel's good. And this old girl, she's been good. So the other day I was driving down the road and I picked up a bit of scrap. I'll show you. So there it is. It's something off the side of the road. It's made out of angerline. Let's take it off the truck and see what it looks like. What is it? Well, it's obviously a stand for a grinder or something. It's obviously been belt driven, and there's a motor mount down the bottom there. So you can see there's that panel down the bottom here. That would have taken the motor, and up the top they would have had a spindle or something for buffing or grinding, I think, mounted. And as a made up unit, it's pretty good. You know, you look at that and think, it's pretty good. If somebody wanted to make up something like that, there's a lot of work, and the steel price to do that would be, you'd be looking at $100 worth of steel, easy to do that. But if you went to sell this, you would get nothing for it. I mean, the guys threw it out because obviously it's not worth anything. It's only worth scrap value, except for someone who wants something like that, in which case you might get $10 for it. So it's not worth anything. You know, you've really got to look at this stuff clinically and go, you know, well, it's really only good for the steel component. I mean, my brother-in-law looked at this and went, oh, gee, that's good. Don't cut that up, Rob. You know, I'll give you some angerline for it. But the thing is, unless you've got to use this stuff, it's no good. You've got to make room. You can't store all this stuff in its complete form. You've got to break it down, cut it up, just so you've got room to put this stuff away. And then, yeah, you've got it ready to go. You can use those bits anytime you like. So you've got to be merciless about this. If you ever pick up stuff on the side of the road, you just got to look at it as what the component value is, what it's worth as scrap, what it's worth as new steel, and just go from there. You can see, you know, there's some good solid steel here on the sides. There's some flat, good angle, a handy size angle. It'd be, looks like 4 mil angle. So I mean, the plan of attack would be chop off the top, chop out the side supports, that and that, leave all that as one bit, chop off the feet, and then you've got it down into its component parts. It's a pity to cut up something like that, but unless you've got a use for it, it's just taking up room, and as I said, it's worth nothing. Otherwise the guy would never have thrown it out. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to cut it up. I'll show you how I do it. I do this all the time. I pick up that much stuff off the side of the road, old benches and all that. You don't want a bench, you've got benches, cut them up, you've got the steel. And the steel is worth a lot more than the old bench is ever going to be worth in its complete form. All right, let's get on with it. Right, well, I've got one saw that I use solely for this job. It's an old, well, it's not old, it's a Black & Decker that I bought new, and it's a good gutsy unit. I think it's about 1800 watt. If you do the sort of work you want to, with friction discs in one of these saws, you want a good gutsy unit. Anything under 1500 watt won't cut it, won't last, it will just burn itself out. You want something good and gutsy. Doesn't have to be big. That's plenty big enough. That's only the middle-sized saw. It's not the great big ones, but that's plenty gutsy enough. Cheap and nasty. It'll do the job. So we'll cut that mother up. When you do salvage work like this, you always wear safety glasses, use leather gloves, and we use earmuffs. The steel's going to get hot. It's going to have sharp edges. You don't want to go getting yourself injured, and wear the safety gear. You'll be right. All right, time to do some cutting. Right, you can see what I'm doing. I'm cutting it down and I'm leaving some of it assembled so it'll be compact to store, but I don't want to cut up any more than I have to because you never know what you're going to need. So, okay, we'll keep going. Job complete. We've now reduced it down to some smaller components we can easily store. So that's Brutal Bob at his best. You can see why you need a gutsy saw. No good buying any wimpy 1200 watt ones. They will not last, believe me, I've been through that. This old girl's pretty good with only a $100 saw. So there you have it. You can't get emotionally attached to junk. If you find on the side of the road it's fair game. You've got to look at what it costs to buy new, how you can store it, and whether it's useful. Can you resell it? Nah. Most of the time, no. It's if you do, you get nothing for it. The steel's worth more, way more than the item value. So the poor old brother-in-law missed out on this one, but that's life. I've now got some good angle line for a job that may come along, a good bit of flat stuff. That's life. If you're going to be a metal scrounger, you've got to be ruthless. Just cut that sucker up. Okay, that's it from me. See you next time. Cheers.